This video is on factoring. We're going to cover three kinds of factoring. We're going to cover basic factoring, easy factoring, and hard factoring. We're going to start by looking at basic factoring. So we notice that when we're looking for basic kind of factoring skills, we're looking to see if all of the terms have something in common. In this case, we want to decide if the two terms here have anything in common. Well, since 16 and 8 are both multiples of 8, then that means I could divide both of those numbers by 8. I also see that I have two x's here and one x here, so both of those numbers can also be divisible by x. That means I'm going to pull out 8x, and in the next parenthesis, I'm going to divide each number. So 16x squared divided by 8x gives me 2x. And negative 8x divided by 8x is negative 1. I have successfully factored this problem. So from here we're going to look at how to solve using the zero product property. What the zero product property tells me is I can set each parenthesis equal to 0 and solve. So when I solve for the first one, I'm just going to divide by 8 and get x equals 0. Please remember numbers that have 0 in the denominator are undefined. In this case, 0 is on the top, so we're good. We also have 2x equals 1. We're going to divide by 2, and we also have x equals a half. So we have solved our first problem. Moving on to the easy kind of factoring, anytime we look at easy problems, we should notice a couple things. All quadratics are in the form x squared plus bx plus c. In this case, a must always equal 1 for it to be an easy kind of factoring problem. In this case, it is 1, so we're good to go. So we're simply going to take the last number and put it on top of our factor tree. And we're going to find the factors. Factors are two numbers that are going to multiply to give me negative 12. So I can have negative 12 and positive 1, negative 1 and positive 12. I can have 6 and negative 2. I can have negative 6 and positive 2. I can have 3 and negative 4, and negative 3 and positive 4. Now, if you're not good at this, I'd like to show you what to do on your calculator. So on your calculator, if you go to y equals, make the screen larger so you can see it. If you make the screen larger, you'll see that we've got an equation in there right now, but we don't want that equation. We want to find the factors of negative 12. So you simply type in negative 12 divided by x, and you press second graph to look at the table. So notice here that we have lots of numbers, and anytime we scroll up or down, we'll see that 1 and negative 12, 2 and negative 6, 3 and negative 4, 4 and negative 3, any of these numbers. We're going to stop at 5. 5 and negative 2.4 are not factors because they have to be whole numbers. So again, we're looking for whole numbers on both sides of the column. If you find those, then you have found your factors. So using the factors that we found, now we want to go ahead and figure out how to solve the rest of it. So we want to look at that middle term, which happens to be negative 4. I want to look through my set of terms and see which one add up to negative 4. In this case, negative 6 times 2 adds up to negative 4. So it's real simple from here. We simply set up two sets of parentheses with an x in each one. Then we're going to take that first number that we found to be a factor and put it in the parenthesis, and the second number will go in the second parenthesis. It doesn't matter the order. We have successfully factored at this step. If we wanted to solve and set it equal to 0, we would again use the zero product property and set each term equal to 0 and solve. So for this problem, we'd have x minus 6 equals 0, and so we'd get x equals 6, And we'd also have x equals negative 2 from that second parenthesis being set equal to 0. Now hard. We've talked about easy where a equals 1. Hard are any problems where a does not equal 1. So in this case, our a equals 6. And so we want to take this number and the number on the end and put it in our factor tree this time. So now we have negative 42. Well, if you're not good, like I said, what you could do is you pull that calculator up again, and we want to find negative 42 this time. So we have negative 42 divided by x. We're going to press second graph, and we can look at our list of numbers. Now we want these to add up to, let's check, to negative 11. So we're going to look through our table. So right now, I can see that I have 6 and negative 7, 7 and negative 6. Neither of those add up to negative 11. But if I stop here at x is 3 and y is negative 14, 3 and 14 do add up to negative 11. So I'm going to write those on my paper, 3 and negative 14. So I know that I'm using 3x and negative 14x. These two numbers. So I'm just going to throw those up there. They would be in our factor tree, but we used our calculator. So now this is a little different because we're going to set up two parentheses with an addition sign in the center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the first number in the first parentheses, and that includes the x squared, and it's going to go to the first spot in the first parenthesis. We're also going to take that last number and it's going to go in the last spot in the last parenthesis. Now notice that we still have to divvy up this negative 11x. Well, that's where we get 3x and negative 14x. So if I look at 3 and negative 14, I want to decide which one has more in common with which number. Well, 6 and 14 are both divisible by 2, but 7 actually goes with 14 better. So we're going to put negative 14x in the second parenthesis with the 7, and we're going to put the 3x in the other parentheses. Now we're actually going to combine the basic skills and the easy skills to finish out our part. So notice that 6x squared and 3x are both divisible by 3x. That leaves me with 2x plus 1. In the second parenthesis, they're both divisible by negative 7, and that leaves me with 2x plus 1. Now you should stop here and look at your parentheses. They should equal the same thing. If they don't, you stuck these terms in the wrong parentheses, or you factored incorrectly. So all we're going to do from here is we're going to mark out those, because we know that's definitely part of the answer, 2x plus 1. And everything that's left out, which is that 3x and that negative 7, will be in our second parenthesis, and we are done factoring. Again, if we wanted to solve, we'd use the zero product property and solve for each of those answers. And we'd have x equals negative 1/2, and we'd have x equals 7/3. I hope this explained factoring for you a little better. If you have any questions, please feel free to email, call, or text me.